I'm Brad Maughan, Regional Director of Sales for CyberForce Cube. Been with the company about 2.5 years. One of the biggest challenges for me is finding the right places and ways to engage security leaders. These men and women have so much demand for their time, of their time. And yet the decisions they're asked to make are so important. So to partner with someone like our organization to be the first line of defense, that requires a high degree of trust. And so the biggest challenge is just getting there, right? Having the opportunity to establish that relationship with them. And that's also part of what's most rewarding for me is being able to not only establish the relationship, I love being that beachhead and building rapport, and then over time building the trust, but then watching our organizations come together and seeing our team at CyberForce Cube really prove that we are in it for the right reasons, right? That we can be trusted. One of the coolest things a client ever said to me was a chief information security officer just after signing the agreements said, "Thanks for investing the time to develop the relational equity necessary for me to trust you and your organization." And that was pretty cool. I love to solve problems, and I love to work alongside people that are a lot smarter than I am, but people that are committed as well, committed to doing the right thing. We're not just encouraged, we're enabled at our organization to collaborate, not just with people within our own company, but with our clients and with other practitioners out there to collaborate on ways to solve problems. Cybersecurity is tremendously complex. And the problems, I liken it to parenting, right? There's just no book to go to for some of the problems that you face. And you've got to figure it out together. And that's part of the fun, it's part of the challenge. And I love working with people that are committed to making a difference that way. So our CEO is a great athlete. He is a marathon runner, and he's run lots of them and continues to. And I love sports. I love to compete. And he's heard me talk often about hiking. The comical part of that is I live in Texas and it's flat. So he and I were taking a trip just the end of last year to Arizona. And he said, "Well, do you want to go hiking? I know this great place." And he said 3 different times, and this is the joke, I didn't pick up on those 3 times where he said, "It's a great little hike. This is a great little hike." And I should have picked up on the words little and great, and I didn't. And at 6 o'clock one morning, we got up. We had to present at a big conference later that day. We got up and we summited Camelback Mountain, which was pretty dang cool. But what a challenging event. And he was often waiting for me as I climbed up to meet him as he waited. And I was completely out of breath, but always had a sarcastic comment to make. It was so much fun, though. I really loved the experience. I've been asked several times why you're so passionate about cybersecurity. And I think it goes back to at least the genesis. In 2017, 2018, there was this suspicion. I spent a lot of time focused on cybersecurity and healthcare. And there was a suspicion that when a breach happened, a hospital experienced that patient outcomes were suffering significantly, but we didn't have any proof of that. It was more of a suspicion at the time. And just a couple of years ago was Department of Homeland Security, or maybe HHS, released a report that showed that during a ransomware attack, mortality rates for patients increased by 22%. That's massive. That's a motivator, right? If that was my loved one, someone I cared about on the table or in that critical situation, what we do is important. And so I drank the Kool-Aid. I think it is important. And that goes across the spectrum of critical infrastructure, that goes across the spectrum of working with Fortune 500 companies, right? This is my information, my family's information. And so to carry that level of conviction helps to motivate me on a daily basis.